What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got a lot already going on here, multiple different things here to discuss here with you guys here in this video. Let's jump right in. And if you're new to our channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos, and click the bell icon after subscribing. It's completely free to do so. Let's jump right in. Take a look at this. Okay, first up, the Supreme Court, actually a Republican judge, Amy Coney Barrett, who was appointed by former President Donald Trump, denies a challenge to block the student loan forgiveness. So this means she upheld President Biden's student loan forgiveness program, saying that it is legal. It is legal. She didn't even send it on to the full court. Supreme Court delivers one of two legal wins for Biden's student loan forgiveness plan for over 40 million Americans that will provide basically a massive stimulus relief of $10,000 to $20,000 for over 40 million Americans. So as of right now, it will not be blocked. It also makes you wonder, what will the next program be? What will the next program be on the federal level? In fact, you can see here, federal courts block. As my cat runs through here like a crazy person. Federal courts blocked two challenges to Biden's student debt relief plan this week. A federal judge in Missouri and a Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett rejected two challenges to President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan a few days before the Education Department will start discharging up to $20,000 of student loan debt forgiveness for the 12 million people who have already applied for relief in the program's first week. I'll show you how to apply here in a minute. If you haven't done so, if you have any friends or family members who need to do this. So far, all of the legal challenges by Republicans, even though this applies to Republicans and Democrats, independents, it applies to anybody who this, it's not just for Democrats or anything like that. Republican Justice Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court dismissed the case without explanation. Basically, she must have thought that it is on legal grounds. She agrees with a lower court that the group lacks standing and that it's legal. That's legal. U.S. District Judge Henry Autry in St. Louis also rejected what was widely seen as the most serious legal challenge to Biden's plan, a lawsuit by 6 states claiming the debt forgiveness will deprive them of tax revenue and harm state entities that profit from a defunct type of federal student loans. The states Nebraska, Missouri, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, and South Carolina also argue that Biden's order is unlawful. This is a different lawsuit. This could also be objected upwards to the Supreme Court. Remember, this is a different lawsuit. So this one could still go up to the Supreme Court, which could be heard as well. So Autry, this judge, who is also a Republican, who is a George W. Bush appointee, agreed that Biden's changes to the program undercut the legal case and said the states lack standing to sue. So in both of these cases, Republican judges said there's no legal case here to overturn the presidential executive order that will provide relief to over 40 million Americans. So good news for the 40 plus million Americans. This is just basically a massive stimulus program. It's not going to raise taxes on anybody. It's similar to like the rent assistance programs that went out for 40 billion plus dollars. I have links for you guys down below in the description of this video. A lot of that money has been running out, but if you've been watching my channel over the last 1 or 2 years, hopefully you applied for that, and I know thousands of our viewers have gotten it. There is $9.9 billion of mortgage assistance from the last stimulus packages. You can apply for that, and you might get it. There's also utility assistance going on in all states. And what might the next federal program be as well? Again, these type of programs happen all the time. We think about the child tax credits that go out to over 40 million children and 60 million, or I'm sorry, 60 million children, 40 million families. Again, a similar type of thing. It's so far not been passed for the enhanced child tax credits of $3,000 to $3,600 per year. If they don't pass it, they are trying to come to a compromise that might be able to pass it here this year. It won't go out with monthly checks, but you will be able to still get it with your tax return. It will go back down to $2,000 a year. So I'll keep you up to date on that. Again, just another program. There's so many of these things, so it's not like it's just, oh, only people with student loans are getting this type of stuff. And I think it's a good thing that they don't block this. Again, I don't have student loans. We already paid ours off. We could be mad at the world over this stuff, but there's no taxes being raised for this. It's not like they're raising taxes because of this. They didn't raise taxes for the mortgage assistance, the rent assistance, the utility assistance, the paycheck protection program, all these different programs. This is just type of stuff that happens all the time. And for the 40 plus million Americans, this is going to be a huge lifeline to them because, I mean, you look at how bad things are right now in the economy. I mean, you can let me know your thoughts. This may apply to you. It may apply to somebody in your family. It may apply to your neighbors. So far right now, this is set to go through. This is set to go through, but I would expect more legal challenges. It's interesting that it's just Republicans trying to challenge this because a Democratic president put it through. It's almost like in an alternate reality. If a Republican tried to put it through, would Democrats challenge it? Remember that not too long ago, right before the 2020 election, former President Donald Trump did do his own executive order for $300 per week for 6 weeks for millions of Americans, sending out checks of already approved money by Congress for $1,800 and $2,400 if states kicked in their extra $100. So anywhere from $1,800 to $2,400, an executive order that went out to millions of people who were unemployed, basically sending out a stimulus check or an unemployed bonus relief check, whatever you want to call it. And he did do this. Okay, this is an article back from right before the 2020 election. Okay, and it stuck because the Democrats didn't challenge it in a court of law. And back then, again, I'm not from either party, and I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. I said the Democrats should not challenge this because it would basically just be taking money away from people who need it. These are people who lost their jobs, and I just think it would be the wrong decision to take money away from people who really need the help, really need the help. And Democrats didn't challenge it, and I think that was the right decision. And again, this wouldn't have helped me, and it stuck. It stuck, and millions of people were probably very thankful for that executive order. Just like 40 plus million Americans are going to be very thankful for this executive order, provided it goes through. So you can apply right now. If you know any friends or family members, please share this video with them right now at the website studentaid.gov. Studentaid.gov, not .com. Go there and click apply right now. It's really easy to do. Once you're there, so as long as you have a federal student loan, you make less than $125,000 or $250 for a married couple, you basically you're qualified. That's it. That's all you need to do. A lot of people think they don't qualify. That's it. That's all you need to do. Even if you're not sure, you might want to apply anyways. But that's it. And you just put your name and your information in here. Make sure it says an official government website here at the top, so you're on the correct website, studentaid.gov. And you just click apply or click submit, and that's it. That's it. And then you're in the queue for when this goes through. And Godspeed. I hope you get the help. And we also got to wonder here, what might be the next program? What might be the next program or the next check or the next relief? Because there's a lot of things on the docket, and you've got to also really kind of think about how bad the economy is right now and how bad inflation is right now. We're at 8+% inflation. Remember, the UK, remember, inflation is going on all around the world. The United Kingdom, their inflation just rose to 10.1%. Our inflation was 8.2%. And our CPIW reading for Social Security raises was 8.7%. So it's actually good that Social Security is getting a higher raise than the overall inflation, which is 8.2% here. But the United Kingdom has a 10.1% inflation, which is actually about 2% higher than our 8.2%, which is almost about 25% higher. Because you think, 25% of 8% is 2%. So it's about 2% higher. So the United Kingdom is inflation almost 25% higher. Basically our closest ally, the United Kingdom and Canada, are probably our two closest allies. They actually just lost their second prime minister because of this. Yeah, you can see here, UK Prime Minister Liz Truss resigns after failed budget and market turmoil. She was just in office for 44 days, making the shortest serving prime minister in British history. So this is the thing. This stuff is going on everywhere. And every country is trying to do what they can to kind of get through it the best they can, because it's really rough right now. And you got to kind of think, if you're the president and if you're Congress, what can you do for the people to help out the best they can? So the president did just do this student loan forgiveness, which is basically a massive lifeline for over 40 million Americans. This is going to provide them. In fact, I've seen a recent survey or poll that said for people with student loans, it was their number one financial strife in their life, because if you know anything about student loans, it's something that they end up having for decades. Sometimes it's because of the interest. It's so bad that they end up having it for 10, 20, 30 years. They can't pay it off. It's so bad. And in fact, for about 20 million people, it'll actually pay it off completely. So it's going to be a really good stimulus program for those people. You also got to kind of wonder what might be next. What might be coming next? So this is a really good. In fact, look at what I just seen here. Actually, the USDA announces $1 billion debt relief for 36,000 farmers. So notice this. I mean, you gotta. Yeah, this is the type of stuff here. This is happening more and more than what people realize. So will there be other type of debt relief coming in the future? Will there be credit card debt relief? Will there be mortgage debt relief? Will there be medical debt relief? So this just happened here. This is from Tuesday. The federal government announced Tuesday a program will provide $1.3 billion in debt relief for about 36,000 farmers who have fallen behind on loan payments or faced foreclosure. $1.3 billion for farmers. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced a farm relief program funded from $3.1 billion set aside from the Inflation Reduction Act. allocated towards assisting distressed borrowers of direct or guaranteed loans administered by the USDA. The law was passed by Congress and signed by President Joe Biden in August. So, yet another program where more people are being helped, literally just announced here within the last few days. So, again, it might be you, might not be you, might be someone you know, might be your friends or family. The student loan forgiveness is such a big one because it's over 40 million people. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. Just like the state stimulus check programs or inflation relief programs, tax rebate programs, whatever you want to call them. That's a really big one, really big deal as well. The California one is obviously a big one because California is the largest state and they have 23 million people. So if you've been watching my channel, though, you know I've had multiple different videos going over a bunch of the different states, and I just did another video here in the last few videos that went over some new states as well. So as soon as I get information, as soon as I see it, I go over it. Um, and I always get people saying, "What about my state?" Well, again, I got thousands and thousands of viewers watching. So it's not that I'm picking or choosing any specific state. As soon as information comes in and I see it, I'm covering it. So if it's in the news and I see it, I'm here to cover it for you on the federal level, on state levels, and anything that we deem that should be shown or is necessary, is relevant. So really, there's a lot going on here. And these programs are putting money back in people's pockets in different ways. So you let me know your thoughts here. But if we go back, I mean, even 5, 10 years ago, these type of programs didn't exist. I mean, we did have stimulus check programs back from 2001 and 2008. But as you can see here, they're becoming more and more frequent. We've had 3 major federal stimulus check programs now. This year alone, 33 state stimulus check programs. We had some last year. I don't know the count of what they were last year. I know we had some from like Maryland and California last year. Honestly, there's going to be some next year as well. States like California have enough money to do it again next year. Then, if you've just been watching, every single state has a positive state surplus, meaning extra money to do it again next year. States like Florida and Texas have over $20 billion. I think New York as well. Have over $20 billion of state surplus. I think Ohio too. I don't know Ohio off the top of my head. But Ohio hasn't sent out diddly squat yet. Yet being the key word. So a lot of these states that, if you haven't seen it, still have the money. And really, the states that have sent out money, they didn't send out every last dollar. They didn't send out every last dollar. And the states that have sent out money, not only have they not sent out every last dollar, they always keep a pretty large cushion. They're still bringing in a historic amount of money because unemployment is at a 50-year low. So they're bringing in a historic amount of money because they're just bringing in more tax dollars. They're bringing in more sales tax dollars. They're bringing in more everything. Even states with no income tax like Texas and Florida have over $20 billion surpluses. And those states have almost $10 billion of stimulus money. States like Florida and Texas haven't even really touched that money. Florida sent out a little bit in the form of like teacher $1,000 checks and first responder $1,000 checks. But really, that's almost kind of like the interest that they've sent out, because the money's sitting in accounts there. So, they're making some kind of interest on the money. So, really, the money's mostly there for a lot of these states. So, I'll keep you up to date here with everything. But if anything, this is encouraging because there's so many different programs. Don't be discouraged if the student loan forgiveness isn't for you. It's not raising taxes on anybody. Just like if we see the massive COLA Social Security raise, If we see another Social Security raise, like the $2,400 per year raise, don't be mad if seniors in Social Security, the Bible teaches, be thankful and be happy for the successes, or that be thankful when your fellow man or fellow woman gets something. So if anything, these are people that are in need. And again, you got to wonder what might the next program be. When one state gets a stimulus check or gets some help, or if there's some states sending out extra SNAP benefits. Again, we just don't know what the next program's going to be. And this is kind of like the state of stimulus right now. It's not just the big federal stimulus checks that everybody thinks about. There's all these different type of programs, and I'll keep you up to date on all of them. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. Click the bell icon after you subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button for us as well. You can share this video with your friends and family. There's a share button down below. It copies the link so you can send it out on Messenger. You could send it to messages, or on Facebook or anything like that, to your friends and family, and I'll keep you up to date here. You can click here to watch my video about really a major thing we just discovered, kind of a red alert that you got to watch next. And here's my newest video about checks that are going out to millions of people in October that you might not even know about. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.